Hey, have you ever
I'm not ready.
refused to share your inheritance with your dad and brother after discovering a giant family secret and felt like the asshole about it?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Have you
You don't want to honestly say it?
have you ever had a husband who wanted to stay friends with the person he cheated with?
Yes.
Shit. Have you ever asked your best friend to break up with their uneducated, unemployed partner so you can be together with them?
Yes.
Honestly, same.
There it is. Honestly, same.
Ooh, honestly, same.
Honestly, same.
Honestly, same.
Honestly,
Honestly,
same.
same. Honestly,
Honestly,
same.
same. Honestly, same.
Honestly, same.
Honestly, same.
Honestly, same.
I can't get this app to load.
Yes.
Oh my god. What app? Reddit? What? That's the theme of this episode. Hi everybody, welcome back to Honestly Same. My name is Ross.
My name is Leah.
I'm Brittany.
And this episode is sponsored by Reddit because the topic and subject matter for this entire episode that we're about to do is all going to come from the Am I the Asshole threads of Reddit. We're going deep in the asshole of Reddit for this episode.
We did make Ross go do the work and go deep into the asshole. We're just...
I went pretty deep, and I came out with 12 different stories that we're going to see which ones we talk about on this episode as we play the judge, jury, and executioner for these pathetic, dirty, awful, or maybe not that bad people.
What did you
Maybe
find?
not. We're going to find out if they're one side or the other.
It's
at the
case
end.
closed already for Ross.
As we determine and share these stories to see and determine whether they do suck or not. Who's going first?
Well,
Don't
not
make it me.
I can't even get my freaking thing to
You
load.
can't get your app to load, but you do know the story.
I do know
You
the
do
story.
know the
I feel
tale.
like we're gathering around for Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yeah, but like...
I-
and these are kind of scary, to be honest.
They are.
I'm upset though because I want to be able to reference comments and things like that, you know, so that we can see like, oh, was there an update? Like, did somebody,
Right.
you know? But I can tell the story, and maybe we just don't spend as much time on this one specifically. We
Well,
might, but
I don't even have one in particular that I'm looking to spend time on, so
all
we
right.
can do whatever.
Then
It's a
I'll just
free
start
for
with
all.
this one, and we'll feel it out. We'll just feel it out.
The teaser you gave of this one has me real excited.
Yes,
So let's start.
I will
with-
explain it. I may be missing parts of it because I can't open the actual like story on Reddit, but I have seen it in the past, and I saw a post that it got like shared to on Facebook, a screenshot, and people were just going at it in the comments talking about just the controversial ways that you can argue one side or the other for this. So essentially, I can't even read the whole title at this point. Oh, okay, wait. My friend uses me for sexual content, and I'm secretly the customer that keeps paying her to do it.
My God.
So the story behind this is that this guy has a friend who is a lesbian and has an OnlyFans account. And the friend got a request from a user on her OnlyFans. I think it's like subscription. Like if you subscribe, you can make requests or something. I'm not super familiar. But somebody specifically requested male and female content from her. So she asked this guy, her best friend, to be the person that she made this content with because she trusts him. And, you know, even though she's a lesbian, she's like, if I was gonna...
It's a business exchange.
Yeah, you know, it's basically that. So she came to him in confidence and asked him to be this person. And he agreed because he had always like had this kind of like massive attraction to her, but because she's a lesbian, you know, there was never, and just, you know, they're best friends. That's their relationship. He never had a chance to like be with her in any way other than friends. So he agrees to create the sexual content with her and then comes up with this scheme essentially where he created an anonymous OnlyFans account and has continued to pay her and explicitly ask for male and female content knowing that he is the person that she is going to hire to help her. So she is also giving him some money
Whoa.
for,
he's getting money back.
yes. So he is paying her for this male on female content anonymously so that he can partake in this male and female content. And then, yes, also he's technically getting like almost a discounted rate for his OnlyFans. He's getting to sleep with her, which he always wanted, even though she only ever saw him as a friend. And he is, making money back, essentially.
That is wild.
It's I don't care about the money.
It's the moral dilemma for
It's
me.
the
Yeah.
moral dilemma that is just clearly you're the asshole. There's no way around that until like you get to that. He knows that he crossed a boundary. That's why he's writing it on Reddit. But
Yeah.
it's just you're now an unsafe person.
Yeah, this person
Yeah.
that's supposed to be your best friend trusts you so much that
crazy.
she asked you to be the person that she performs these sexual deeds with. And not only that, I also forgot to mention, I remember this part, that like no one like knows that she has this OnlyFans. Like it's a very private thing for her as well.
Okay.
So she, like, him even knowing it exists is a big deal, but then also being the person that she's performing with
And
on
see,
OnlyFans.
I feel like had he done like just own up to what you like. Don't even go further into like I'm gonna make an account. I'm gonna keep requesting. Just like after the first one, I feel like you should because I'm trying to
take
think
it as
like,
a win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just be
I
like,
feel like
wow,
if-
that was cool that I finally like I never thought I'd have this chance and now I did.
Because I'm thinking like if I was in a situation like that, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I got asked to do this thing. I did this thing. And if I felt that way where I was like, oh, I've always kind of been into her, blah, blah, blah. I really think it's just a lot easier just to go to her and be like, either before or after. Either one, I feel like you're still in like a window of like it's okay. But like either before, be like, hey, before we do this, just so you know, I've been secretly into you. Like I'm, whatever. Like, are you cool with this? Or if you do it and you're like, oh wait, that confirmed a bunch of feelings I had for you for sure, and I don't know.
That's
if,
a healthy
like,
person that realizes that they shouldn't do it again though.
There's also
right,
like
and then bring it up, and then
the middle ground of like being human. Like if you're gonna subscribe, watch that video over and over. Don't like you're essentially like now paying her as
it's
a
like
sex
almost
work.
a
like,
secret.
yeah,
It's
like
basically-
for sex.
like,
and prostitution is
Unknown.
illegal, so he's technically involving her in an illegal act
because
without
it's
her
him.
knowing.
He's paying her versus someone else paying to see some random person. He is
Exactly.
actively paying her for sex.
And so the arguments that I was seeing from, of course, a couple of men on the internet,
Hey, man, I don't think he did anything
couple.
wrong. That's pretty cool.
I don't think I saw a single woman defending this man, but they were saying, well, it's a win-win. She's getting paid. She's getting, they're all getting what they want. Like she's getting money from it. He's getting to have sex with the girl. Their friendship's not ruined.
But
like, blah,
but
blah,
she's
blah.
still under the
But their
guise.
friendship is now
she's
not-
still
Yeah, it's
under the
not an
guise
honest
that
friendship at
it's
that
like
point.
this consensual business agreement and
Yeah.
not for pleasure.
And that's the thing too, is there's a lot of question here about consent. Maybe they're two consenting adults and they are actively engaging in this thing, but it's under the pretense that it's for a reason other than he wants to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
Also,
whole reason it's happening is because
He
he
wants
wants
to.
to.
how long do you know how long ago that story was?
Honestly, it says 3 months ago, but I feel like this is something that
I had to have
may
read
have.
it a while
I was gonna
ago.
say,
or something.
I'm sure, and who even knows? A lot of these "Am I the asshole" posts on Reddit are fake. Like a lot of them are rage bait.
That's
and
true. We might
we're-
just be telling false stories
It's
on
it's
this episode.
But I
My
mean, the
favorite
moral
thing to do.
dilemma still. I mean, it still stands. Like
Still
even
something
if
good
this
to
was
talk
a
about, yeah.
hypothetical
I
situation.
can guarantee there's like 5 versions of that in real
Yeah.
life that are happening right now.
Yeah. And my
Yeah.
thing with the consent part though is like if she knew everything and it was all laid out on the table, if he was like, I'm the one who, like if everybody was being honest and came out, if she knew that he was the one paying her and asking her for these things, would she still consent to doing it? And that's
Right.
what it really comes down to.
Yeah.
Because then if the consent wouldn't be there, if that pretense was not in
Well,
place,
then it's just this is what I've been doing. Can I just pay you out of pocket for sex?
at that point he might as
Right.
well.
Because if he is the customer now, you know, he's the main customer for that specific thing.
Yeah.
Like, if they continue, it is specifically for him. And at that point, you guys are not friends.
No. If you're deceiving somebody, especially in order to extort them, like extort
Yeah.
sexual favors or whatever you want to call it, like he could specifically be like, I want to see you do this specific thing. You
Yeah,
know?
he could say
and
whatever
it
he
could be
wanted.
Yeah.
he could be asking her to do things that
He's
she
literally
might
getting whatever he
Yeah,
wants.
he's literally
Yeah.
getting this really weird control.
Yeah,
thing
he
of,
might.
like,
I mean,
acting
imagine
like-
if he has fetishes that he wants to act out with her, and she's doing it for the sake of money, and not realizing that she's doing it for his
and
pleasure.
then he's spending money and making what, half of it back or something.
I think it was something like she was giving him like a little less than half, maybe like 30% or something, maybe.
What a wild business
But, like,
scheme that.
Even if she's keeping 2/3 of the money and he's got 1/3 of it, it's just even
Yeah.
if she's making his money,
He's been stealing her money back.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
Wow.
There's no justifying this
What
one
a
for me.
story
No,
to
not
start
me.
with.
But I just, this one, and like I said, I so wish I had it all here, because anybody that would hear this story or whatever, like, could have a million questions. I would love to be able to look at the
Yeah.
comments and see what other people had to
I
say.
want to know if it ever got
Was
resolved.
resolved,
Like,
yeah.
I want to know if somebody found out. And that's what I want.
I guess we'll never know
We
because
won't.
And
We
like
won't.
My
that's
app
the thing
won't
about
work.
some people is like, will it be worth it? Were you guys even like
Yeah.
friend? Were you guys like
Right.
that kind of friend?
yeah,
'Cause,
I
like,
specifically remember the words "best friend" being used.
yeah,
This goes back to that like friend zone conversation we had.
Yeah.
I don't know, last season or something.
about
Yeah.
underlying weird shit that like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Um,
time for a verdict.
But
Guilty.
before we give this verdict, you guys should really hear me out. Like, he's thinking, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's fucking
that's just a businessman at the end of the day.
Hey, bro, he's just on his hustle, man. Like, so if you don't fucking respect it, man, like, that's fucked up, man.
I love that you're like, and I'm done.
And character over.
and scene.
Yeah.
He's guilty.
Guilty
He
ass.
Asshole.
is the asshole.
Asshole,
A
yes.
total asshole. And I hope that this has been resolved and that they're just not on speaking terms. There's a huge violation that's happening there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's
There are
gaining
several.
access to your friend's
There are
body
several
for- that's-
violations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The sexual aspect, the legal aspect.
Mm-hmm.
They're technically doing something illegal.
Right. That's
there's
crazy.
a lot that goes into that one and a lot to unpack, I'm sure. But yes, that. Oh,
Time for the next story.
Let's go.
yes.
All right, well, I don't have one chosen, so I need you guys to choose for me.
Okay.
Do you want me to read like 3? Or just stop me when you,
Okay.
but don't let me get too far. 'cause
Just
then
the
I'll give 'em all
titles,
away.
right? You're
Just the titles.
Can you imagine if he was like, I'm gonna read 3 whole stories,
Tell me which
and
one
then
you like
you
the
tell
most.
me which one you guys like the best?
All right. Option A. Am I the asshole for avoiding my parents after discovering they were spreading super inappropriate lies about my husband and I? First one, pretty good. Option 2. Am I the asshole for asking my coworker what happened if I drank her breast milk?
Okay, I
Option
don't
two.
think we even need to. Some of these I'm like,
Is that,
I've already got a verdict.
Yes.
is that a quick hit? Quick one? And option number 3. Am I the asshole for not letting my girlfriend crash at my place while she finds a new apartment?
Well, we're gonna have to go with the first one.
Yeah, I feel like the first
First
one
one?
definitely.
Okay, since I have the
Was the
story, I'm
most
telling the story,
intriguing.
right? Okay, here we go. Submitted for the approval of the Midnight Society. This is Am I the asshole for avoiding my parents after discovering they were spreading super inappropriate lies about my husband and I? Here we go. Last year, my husband and I
I
met
feel like we're on a game show.
my parents.
No.
Met my parents, aunt, and uncle for Thanksgiving. They had been vacationing together a few days prior. As we were leaving, my aunt, who was visibly upset, pulled me aside and said, I need to talk to you. Can you call me in a few days? I asked if she was okay. She said, yes, I just need to ask you something, but not right now. Well, I called to ask what was going on. My aunt said, I heard something that seems very out of character for you, and I want to see if it's true. Evidently, a few days before Thanksgiving, my parents told her an untrue story about how my current husband and I met. To note, I was separated at the time from my now ex-husband when we met. She explained, according to my parents, I met my husband while online soliciting for a proposed threesome with my ex-husband as a last-ditch effort to salvage my then failing marriage. However, during this tryst, Husband and I supposedly realized that we had a connection which led us to be together while choosing to dissolve my previous marriage. My parents shared more gross details, but I'll spare you. I wish you wouldn't have.
Oh my
I
god.
could have gotten to read them right now. I was shocked as
of
none
the
of
little
this was
people.
true. We met at work through mutual friends, and our romantic relationship developed slowly over a period of time. I had repeatedly told my parents how we met and even introduced our mutual friends to my parents at our wedding as the ones who got us together. There's a lot of slides here. So I FaceTime my parents to ask them why they're lying about this behind our backs. They look me dead in the eyes and say, because that's what you told us. Excuse me.
Thank God Ross has this one.
When this is great. I'm just telling a story on here.
Excuse me. You're every character.
Excuse me. When I refuted this, my dad proceeds to get angry with me, saying that I must have amnesia, as my mom stormed off, refusing to discuss the issue. The rest of the call was sitting in silence while he attempted to gaslight me. A few days later, get a call from my cousin. She explains that my dad told her the same thing about me and my husband. The cousin had been told that story almost 8 years ago.
What?
Which they had believed up until now. My cousin apologized for not saying anything sooner, but the story made them so uncomfortable they didn't know what to do.
I mean, yeah, can you imagine if you were the you're just like, oh,
Oh, okay.
all right.
I'm trying not to judge yet. I'm like,
Basically, they've asked their parents why they made this up. They keep backing out of it. They've been emailing back and forth for almost a year now and gotten nowhere, so they're not talking. Their story keeps changing. They keep shifting the blame, and they continue to act like it's not a serious issue, and they've never gotten an apology outside of, oh, we're sorry for upsetting you, for 10 years is what happened. Let's see, most recently we demanded, why did they make this up, blah, blah, blah. Most recently, they have demanded that we forgive them and move on. Since we haven't forgiven them yet, we're responsible for my mother crying all the time. And we're essentially breaking the family apart. So, am I the asshole for wanting to continue to avoid my parents even though I'm tearing the family apart? That's, I skipped through some of the story because that was taking a lot longer than what I planned. So,
here's my thing. I don't care if it's true. It can be true. Why the fuck are you telling anyone? Your parents are. It
Yeah,
can be
that's
true.
weird.
They could walk in on the whole thing happened. Like
Right.
everything could be true, and they're still the assholes for telling people that.
Yes.
hey, Mom, this is my new husband. And they're like, oh, honey, which one?
But actually, she just watched like an episode of Desperate Housewives and like got it mixed up with reality
Literally.
and just is stuck with it.
But the
now.
fact
Yeah.
that like both parents are like that.
because
Yeah.
the dad never wants to deal with like the mom's theatrics.
Yeah,
So he's like,
whatever you say, honey.
Yeah,
You're
your
right.
mother's crying. That's all I know.
Can't believe our daughter DP'd and found a new husband.
Newspaper up.
Yes, dear.
Yes. Yeah, that I just can't believe that that they're it's not about whether it's true or not for me. That's an insane story to make up that it's not true.
right.
It's just like, why would you ever talk about your children in that fashion?
And also, where do you get that? Where
Yeah.
do you get like that wild of a like story of like wife who wrote this story was in a former relationship, so has an ex-husband, had a threesome that included new husband, decided to just go ahead and go with new husband and leave ex-husband, and that's why they got a divorce.
But also, like, that's just like.
What if it's the ex-husband the whole time? What if that's what he told her parents and she thought it was them?
Ooh. And maybe they like he's like the one that got away from the family, you know, because now they were like estranged. We
Yeah.
cracked the code.
We did.
I think
it's
that's what it
done. Case closed.
Somehow the ex-husband is the asshole.
Oh, the poor guy
Yeah.
like lost his
Yeah.
wife.
This is us like ripping the like. Wait a second, gang.
Yes.
It's the ex-husband the whole time.
Take the
what it
mom's
is.
face off.
Yeah.
No, and just the parents are really gross. I have a big pet peeve with parents not acting like parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say that that's definitely not the way that a parent should handle a situation like that, regardless of,
And
like you
imagine,
said,
like-
if it's true or not.
Yeah. Not talking to your child for a year. Like, again, if my child came up to me and was like, I'm getting a divorce. This is my new husband. This is how we met. Full disclosure.
Yeah.
I'm just going to fucking, that's not my business. I'm just
right,
going to move
okay.
on. I'm going to be like, That it's just so
Gotcha.
crazy. I'm not going to stew in it. I'm not going to go talk about that with extra details to other family members.
Honestly, I would probably make something up. Like if I found out that was actually, like if I 100% believed that my child met their significant other in that search, I would go, I'm not sure.
think it was a work
maybe,
function.
yeah,
They met on a boat.
yeah, I would literally even just say like, Tinder. I don't know. Say anything else.
Yeah.
Anything else.
Yeah, what's the reason to like
And why would
share
they give
the
you
details
Yeah,
with the family members?
she said the gross details that like
Yeah,
they
they weren't
a
included,
really
I guess.
bored
Well, I
mom
said
that doesn't get out a
T-tails.
lot.
T-tails.
T-tails. I like
T-tails.
it.
Oh,
We're
that's
going over all the
trademarked.
T-tails.
TM.
Trademarked.
You hear
Yeah,
that?
we trademarked
T-tails.
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 That's a really good.
I like
Someone
it.
should start a podcast called that.
That's
that.
so
Spare
good.
me the T-tails.
Oh my
me
god!
the T-tails.
Someone do that right now.
Okay. Well, you
Ross,
gotta do
you-
everything for it, but then we'll show up.
Shit.
It'll just be us.
You just set us up and then you're good to go home.
Good. Noted.
And you'll edit it. It'll be great.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's awesome. That sounds great for
You
me.
get to listen to all the T-tails. It's so cute. It's like the word pebble.
It really is. Maybe that's what this episode is called.
T-tails?
Pebble?
That was your whistle moment.
Pebble.
Pebble?
Final verdict. Is this wife the asshole for avoiding her parents after
No.
they
No.
spread that rumor?
The parents and possibly the ex-husband are definitely the
Yeah.
assholes
And
here.
one
Yeah.
more thing to say. A kid is never an asshole for cutting off a parent for any reason.
Yeah.
Right.
Ever.
There's never.
I don't care.
I don't think I've ever met any child who did not want to have a good and healthy relationship with their parents.
Yes.
But wait. Remember the point. She makes her mother cry every day.
That is true.
All the time. Her mom's
She is
crying.
the reason for it.
She is the
And
reason.
she must probably tell her all the
Yes.
time that she's crying all the time.
Yep. Anonymous Redditor. That's not the asshole.
Nope.
No,
Nope.
not at all.
Nope. Fuck those parents.
That one though, differently than Leah's. Leah's is one like if I was the person on the receiving side of that, I'm ruined forever. That's gonna fuck me up. This one, I'm just like, I mean, I'm really pissed at my parents, but I'm like, that's just not fucking true. That's such a weird like. Okay, now
Yeah.
I gotta deal with this, but it's not like life altering. You know
yeah.
what I
Why
mean?
do you want that to be? Yeah. Yep.
Unless they don't talk to their family ever again. I mean, their parents ever again.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right, Brittany.
They won't leave her. She won't leave her mom crying that much longer. All right, you guys ready?
Yes.
Let's go. Story number 3.
This one I read one time, but it really stuck with me.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say it's really special to me.
What's the title?
Oh my god, I was really just gonna jump
You're
in.
gonna, 417
You're gonna
years
like this
ago.
title. It really
Back
gives
in the
everything away.
1700s.
Am I the asshole for leaving my boyfriend for no reason?
Okay.
What's your? You
No.
got any like specific? Yeah,
Spoilers.
exactly.
You can leave anybody at any time for no reason.
Yes,
Yeah.
You don't have to have a reason other than I don't want to be a part of this anymore.
that's right. That's reason enough. Okay. I, 26 female, have been with my now ex-boyfriend Eric, 28 male, for 2 years. So we've been together for 2 years. Overall, we've had a good relationship, nothing crazy until last night when things completely fell apart. We were out at a bar with some friends of his, just having a normal night, drinks, food, the usual. Eric and his friend Mark were joking around, and Eric made a comment about how much Mark was eating. Something like, "Careful, Mark, you'll eat the whole damn bar." It seemed harmless at first, just typical guy humor. And then Mark looked right at me and said, "If only she knew."
Wait, Mark is the friend, right?
Mark's
Yes.
the friend.
Okay.
He knows something.
Yeah.
He knows something.
It was one of those moments when you instantly feel uncomfortable, like there's something going on behind your back. I had no idea what Mark was talking about, and the whole vibe of the table shifted. Before I could even react, Eric exploded. He went off on Mark, screaming at him to shut the fuck up, and even tried to get physical. His other friends had to hold him back. Mark didn't really react, which made Eric angrier. This whole thing was awkward as hell, and we ended up leaving early. When we got back to my place, I couldn't stop thinking about the comment. I asked Eric what the hell made Mark say, "If only she knew. What don't I know?" And instead of just answering me like a normal person, Eric lost it again. Started yelling at me, telling me to drop it, stop being paranoid. He was dodging every question, getting more pissed every time I brought it up. I wasn't trying to pick a fight and just wanted to know what was going on. It felt like there was something important being hidden from me, and I didn't want to let it slide. But every time I asked, he got more defensive. Finally, he stormed out of my apartment. He doesn't want to live with me, so I locked the door and called it a night. I didn't hear from him until the next morning when he told me to drop it and to leave him alone. At this point, I was done. I'm not going to sit around and be treated like I'm crazy for asking a simple question. Now, here's where it gets worse. He's going around to all of our mutual friends telling them that I left him for no reason, trying to make it seem like I'm the one that overreacted. Some of them even reached out to me saying that I should have just let it go and that I'm blowing things out of proportion. I told them to mind their fucking business, period.
Good.
Absolutely.
I don't care what they think. None of them were there in that moment, and none of them saw how he acted, and none of them have to live with the pit in their stomach that I have had ever since that weird ass comment. I'm not about to stay in a relationship where I feel like something shady is happening behind my back. If Eric can't be straight with me after 2 years together, then what's the point? So that was before any, like, that was just,
So that was the thing.
yes.
The story. Okay.
So that was just the first thing that was posted.
Yeah.
So this is before comments and everything else.
Yes.
So right off the bat, because obviously this is the original post.
Yes, this is the original post.
I
This
would
is the no
say-
reason, like,
Yeah, I would say I stick with my comment that I said before. I don't think that you need a reason. Like, you can get the ick from somebody literally just from like seeing, I don't know, something up their nose one time. Like,
Yeah.
some people just feel a certain way or don't feel a certain way, and you don't necessarily need a reason to suddenly change your
and
mind.
this is a reason. If someone
yeah,
says,
that-
if
I think
only
that's-
she knew,
but that's
and then
what I
you
mean, is
say,
like-
I'm not going to fucking tell you, that's
Yeah.
a good reason.
Yeah, if only
Yeah.
she knew, and the way that he exploded afterwards,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
the way that
Starting
he
a literal physical fight.
yeah, and continued to explode over the entire thing. He's the one that's overreacting, and he's the one that's being really defensive. So he's the one that I feel like at the end of this is going to be the asshole.
Yeah. So far, she's not the asshole.
Jury, I love the answers.
Yep,
Okay.
Good.
Update, same post. I remember reading like the first one and then seeing like an update, like literally not the same day.
We're like, yes, new episode.
I feel like I'm living in some kind of twisted nightmare. And the more I try to make sense of it, the worse it gets. Mark, okay,
The friend.
the friend, called me today. Hello?
He called me today.
Called me
Call
today.
me today.
Well, I was at work and I didn't expect him to call me because he was ignoring me. So I stepped outside to take the call, and he told me something that I never in a million years could have prepared for.
Is this it? Is this the reveal? Is this what she didn't know?
Well, actually, it could be a couple paragraphs down.
Oh,
So calm
okay.
down.
You're gonna be drum rolling.
Actually,
for a
it is
while.
right here. He told me that Eric has been putting other men's semen into my food, drinks, skincare, shampoo, conditioner, and even my toothpaste. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not being dramatic. That is what Mark said. Eric has apparently been hooking up with random men, then having them finish into cups, and then using it in my meals and my drinks, and as some kind of sick joke. Even as I write this, I'm still in complete disbelief. Who does that to someone? Mark said he found out about this a week ago, but for some reason it took him that long to tell me. A week. I've been living my life completely oblivious, trusting Eric, someone I loved, while this was happening behind my back. I feel so betrayed, so disgusted, so violated. When I asked Mark if he and Eric were having an affair or if this was some twisted thing between them, he swore they weren't, and he even made a gross comment about not wanting to touch Eric because who knows what diseases he has. That kind of made my stomach turn. I'm getting tested for everything now because I don't know what's been in my body. When I got home, I went straight to the kitchen. Mark told me to check under the sink, and there were the cups. Hidden under the cleaning supplies, I lost my shit. I threw everything in the kitchen, the bathroom, and even stuff I knew wasn't touched. I don't care. Everything feels contaminated. My home doesn't feel safe. I don't have any solid proof of this. It's just Mark's word in those disgusting cups, but I feel powerless, and nothing can be done. I honestly don't know what I'm going to do. How is this even legal? How can someone get away with something so vile? This has been messing with my head. I feel dirty. Eric was eating the same food. He was eating the food that he contaminated right alongside me. Was it a kink? A power trip? I don't even know. All I know is the man I thought I knew, the man I loved, is a complete stranger to me now.
Whoa.
This took a way different turn than I would have ever expected.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I searched high and low for this baby. I was like, I gotta read this one.
Wow.
Oh
So,
my God.
how sneaky do you have to be? I mean, I guess people roofie people all the time. I was
Well,
like, to
and
put
if,
it in
like-
somebody's drink,
But to
like,
semen someone?
Yeah. A lot of, in your toothpaste, in your shampoo.
That's a lot of,
well, he's
pardon my French, that's a lot of cum.
Yeah, he's
do you-
hooking up with
how
multiple
do you put
men.
it in the
Cup?
He's asking him to.
Oh,
No,
how
into, like,
is he
the
getting it into his
toothpaste.
toothpaste? That's
Oh,
impossible.
a syringe.
Oh, I guess
Oh.
you could do that.
That's
I guess, yeah, you could use
Because
a
like
syringe
medicine
to-
syringes, you could just
Yeah, you could literally.
so it was in her food,
Ugh.
her toothpaste, her drinks.
her drinks, her food, her toothpaste, her shampoo.
Oh my God.
If only she knew. And then that's what you didn't know. I'd simply, and not only are you the asshole, but I'm also beheading you.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, I
That
wouldn't be
is-
posting this anonymously. I would be shouting it from the rooftops because whoever his next victim is probably only like a few steps behind you.
Everyone
Like,
should know about Eric whatever.
Yeah,
'Cause
she
he
really should be
puts
putting his
semen
name
in
on.
things.
Literally.
And like your girlfriend
And
like,
was
your
having a bunch of
girlfriend?
affairs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Let's not even forget that part.
True.
But that's also the least of the problems in this story.
seriously. Like at least he was keeping his business on that side. Then
And also that like
How did the friend find out?
she said
Yeah, that's
it doesn't
what I
say
wish-
how, but it says that he knew for a week before he told her.
and didn't say anything. And then still didn't say anything and was just like, if she only knew.
Yeah.
Still
I feel
didn't
like
admit
he would
it.
have to be intimately close to the situation in order.
Well,
you know
I
what
mean, she did say like, "Are you like? Is there something between you guys?" And
then
he
he
could
was
have
like,
like maybe asked him to like.
I mean, it sounds like
Come
okay.
in a cup.
If she wrote this, I'm sure that she already like either came to or passed this conclusion at some point. But like, if he was so defensive over the fact that he was doing it, like, how did it come up? Because this is a weird fucking thing. Was his friend like, oh, I'm just gonna go, like, can I like wash my hands in your bathroom or
Right.
something? And
was
he
like,
was
"Don't
probably
use
like,
that
oh,
soap,
don't
don't use
use
that
that soap. You know, some shit like how
Yeah.
did this come up?
And it's like I'm doing this funny little prank on.
And then what do you do when your friend, like if you were at a friend's house and you were going to the bathroom and they were like, oh, don't use that soap. And you said, oh, why? What's wrong with it? And they said, there's cum in it.
yeah.
Are you just like, oh, silly Eric, you're so funny.
No, I feel like he had to stew. I mean, if I found out somebody that I thought was like just like a normal friend, like if I found out one of you guys were doing that, like
Was a
imagine
cum
like how
collector?
you were, like maybe it is a kink or whatever. I don't know. It's
But then
definitely
putting it
not
in other
okay.
people's things.
Yeah, it's definitely not okay. But like this guy probably had to sit with this for a while and just to process it.
Yeah.
Before he could tell her, because honestly, I probably would have been like, was that a dream? That couldn't have been real
Yeah,
life.
also,
Like,
I get, like, how do you even bring that up to someone?
especially if you don't know the person well.
And just like, hey, I don't know how
whatever.
to tell you that your boyfriend is doing
And clearly
this.
he gets real defensive about it. So I can only imagine, like, you know, he screamed at him at the restaurant
Yeah.
just for like alluding to it.
That is...
But like the way that she said that the like whole table seemed to
Yeah.
shift. So like his friends just know about this.
I feel like if
Do the other
if
friends
I
know what's going
watched the whole like if only she knew and then like a borderline like I would get weird and I wouldn't have to know that you know, and I wouldn't
I
have
feel
to be
like-
the
yeah.
she either. I'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I feel like if I was another friend in that group and
like,
saw
"Ooh,
that interaction
I'm
happen,
gonna get a drink.
and I'd also be like, hey, you guys are kind of fucked for not saying whatever is going. So like,
Yeah.
I'm on the outside of this. I might not know.
I would absolutely be like, what doesn't she know?
Yeah, but like, we
Yeah.
should talk
Share
about
with the
this. I'm like,
class.
oh no, we shouldn't. I'm like, no, we should.
No.
I'd be posting pictures of those cups. I'd be like
I mean, the trauma that comes with that, I can't. This one kind of feels like along the same lines of like yours, where it's just like women just can't trust anyone.
Yeah.
You can't trust your best friend. You can't trust your boyfriend of 2 years.
No. I mean, if he is a bisexual person, which is what I'm assuming he is, yeah, either that or he's just been using her as like a form of like a plaything of like, oh,
Yeah,
like, I don't know.
Because who knows how long he's been doing that.
Right. But like, that's just so,
Well,
yeah.
we found ourselves in a sticky situation, and now it's time for the official verdict for this story. Huh? What do we think?
Asshole. Like
The-
beyond.
No. She's not
Wait.
the asshole.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
she asked
no,
the
the
no,
question,
yeah.
poster
right?
is
Yeah,
not
yeah.
the
Yes,
asshole.
yes. No, never.
Now the ex-boyfriend, 1,000,000% the asshole. One
Asshole.
million percent.
Yeah. She
That's
is not
not
the
even up for
asshole.
debate. That's
Yeah.
There's like not. If there's
Leave him.
anyone on the planet that wants us to hear his side, I'm burying you in the backyard.
Yeah. No, I feel like and the friend Mark or whatever is like borderline asshole for like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
understand
Mark
like
is also weird.
I
like,
understand it's a
shocked,
lot
but-
to take in and to like process and whatever, and obviously he did bring it up eventually.
Mm-hmm.
But that's yeah.
I don't think like I understand. Yeah, taking the time to process it because that is a lot, and I hate being put into a position where I have to tell someone something really uncomfortable. That's gonna like
Yeah.
Up-
You have to protect your own
shift
mental
their
health as
lives.
well. That's what I'm saying, like borderline.
him making the joke. Like, why would you do
Yeah,
that?
that-
Thank
that
God you
instantly
did that
is just,
because
like-
you put up the red flag. But like,
That's also
No,
that's
I
just
feel
a
like
weird
It's
thing to
not
do,
funny.
though.
It wasn't
Well,
funny.
yeah.
Did you
Does
think
she
it was
only
funny
know?
last week? Like,
Right.
No, but that's what I mean. Like, I don't know. Maybe that was just a way of being able to drop it in conversation because it didn't really go along. He was just like, "Oh, you should stop eating so much," and he was like,
well, you're fucking poisoning your girlfriend with cum, so why don't you worry about that?
Yeah. Eric,
"Poisoning."
I'll eat whatever I want without the cum in it.
I'm
like you're
assuming
eating.
that Eric,
Because he could have
No.
just said, "It's better than eating anything you would prepare."
yeah.
You know, something where it was like she would have no idea what he was insinuating. I feel
Right.
like that was his way of being like,
Well, you,
"Hey, girl,
and also,
you should
like,
get your guy."
another reason why Eric is an asshole is because I don't care if you're a girl or a guy, let's not comment on how much someone's eating.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
yeah, we could revert it back to
Let's
the very
not,
beginning of it.
yeah, let's start there. Like, you were a dick and you fucked around and you found out because
Yeah.
literally, Eric
Wow.
opened the gate for
Yeah.
Mark to get pissed at him.
You know
Yeah.
what's wild about a story like that? That person is still out there probably. They're just out
Unless
there
this is rage
going
bait.
Yeah,
around.
unless it's real.
Oh, unless it's fake.
But there were days between the
I was
first
gonna
two.
say it's so eccentric and far out there.
and
though,
there
that's
was
like,
nothing in the first one. There was nothing.
Yeah, it's like one of those things where it's not rage bait. It's literally just like, oh, like this happened. Am I the asshole, or like, do you think I am not on?
Am I
something, but, like,
overreacting about
yeah,
the nothingness?
and that's like there's a million posts in Am I the Asshole Reddit that are things literally like that. Like, oh, like, am I the asshole because, you know, I got a feeling that something or another, like, there might not ever be resolved, but like the fact that she came back and it was so, like, that's not the, like, you can't make this up.
No.
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, you can, but
You
I
could,
just,
but that's such a specific
it's-
story.
Yeah, very
I mean, if it's just
specific.
a story, I enjoyed the shock value of it. But
Mm-hmm.
if you like, even if you are able to think of that on your own, do you get anything from Reddit if something goes viral? Like, what do you get from making this
you get
up?
little Reddit rewards.
You get a
thumbs up
badge.
or whatever.
Yeah, you
those
get
things are,
badges.
You get upvoted, and then
That's true.
you get in a popular podcast like this one. So congrats.
Yeah,
Really, they made it because we just retold their story.
that's true. Now they get to live in infamy forever.
Yes, in all the same Z's years.
Fuck you, Eric.
Yeah.
Yeah, get out of here, Eric. Hopefully you're not listening to this show. If you are, fucking weirdo.
If you are, stop.
Just stop.
I'm
it.
trying to think of something mean to say to him, and I just can't come to it, so I'm not.
He can come
He
to
can-
it.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Everyone he hangs out with sure did come to it.
Well, now that your tummies are full,
I like feel it.
If they only knew.
I love the shock of like telling people this story, but I truly hate the actual story. Like,
yeah,
it's so nasty.
That's insane. So let's recap. OnlyFans predator guy,
Yeah.
Yep.
asshole.
Correct.
Family drama, family spreading a rumor about husband and wife. They were the assholes, but she was not
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
disowning
Family
them.
was the
Not-
asshole.
yeah.
Family was the asshole. Poster was not. And then of course, cummy filled Eric, absolute asshole.
Yeah.
100%.
Without a
no.
doubt.
And then Mark, secondary asshole.
Mm-hmm.
We think maybe the ex-husband did it in my story.
Yeah.
We uncovered a lot.
We did some sleuthing.
We did. We
We
checked
sure
under
did.
our kitchen sinks and we found.
The cum cups.
Thank you, Leah.
The cum cups. Oh,
if
no.
you would like to find your own cum-filled,
That's our next merch thing.
please just follow the podcast, subscribe and follow on whatever platform that you're checking this out on right now, and subscribe to Leah and Brittany's new podcast, Tea Time.
Tea Tales.
Tea Tales.
Spare me the details.
Spare me the tea tales. You can find that on whatever platform that you found this one on.
I bet that exists.
It probably does. Let's find out right now before we end this. Let's find out if their dreams.
Yeah, let's see if
are
our
shattered.
TM has already been TM'd.
Yeah, because we did trademark it. So if this already exists, we have to sue these people, and there's just no way around.
Our
it.
hands are tied.
While Leah's looking this up, Brittany, where can people follow us at?
Oh my god, I created a thing, you guys. What?
It doesn't
This
exist.
does not exist.
You need to grab something for it because we just had about 100,000.
We're gonna make a shirt.
listening to it.
Can we make a Spare Me the Tea Tales shirt?
That's pretty good.
That is really cute.
That's pretty good.
Guys, I did a thing. I'm so marketable. Wow.
You're girl boss. You're girl boss.
Girl boss. So
Slay.
close to the sun. All
Brittany,
right.
where can people follow this
Yes.
podcast and not details?
Honestly, same pod on all your preferred platforms.
Yes, perfect.
Words.
And if you don't like the show, if you don't leave us a rating and review, you don't follow us, you don't subscribe, then I think it's pretty obvious. who
You're
the
an
asshole is.
asshole.
Yep, we all said kind of different things, but it was all calling you an asshole.
That's right.
Brittany, hit that MFing button.